Coach's Show. I'm Brent Nelson alongside Travis Lamar and head coach Tommy Butler. This week we're going to recap that Wapton game, big 41-0 win. Take a look at what's coming up here in the offseason and look ahead towards next year. All right, Coach, so last game of the season. Playoffs are not really going to happen. What's the motivation? What were you talking about pregame with this group?
You know, honestly, I think our big motivation really was trying to send our seniors out the right way. And I think this group has really done a phenomenal job of taking the vision that myself and then the rest of the coaching staff had put in, and really saying that they're 100% bought in, and they were that way for the entire season. You know, the culture that we wanted to establish, those seniors were, again, just the way that they bought into every single thing that we did was phenomenal. This year, didn't go our way. We were 3-6, but the way that those guys fought, the way that those guys practiced every day, the way they coached up young kids, the way that they were, again, just the tempo setters every single day at practice, I think is going to pay huge dividends for us in the future. But we just wanted to send those guys off with a great victory.
So why don't you tell us about that victory a little bit? Obviously, the score was heavily in our favor.
Right.
What did you see out there?
So I thought our guys, again, we came out and just dominated, really. From the very opening drive, go down, we score right away. Defensively, we shut them down consistently throughout the game. They came out with some new stuff right away that we hadn't even seen, hadn't practiced against. It was some old wing tee stuff that they did. And our guys, again, didn't panic. We just adjusted on the field. Again, I think that just pays tribute to what our guys can do. They adjust on the field, make plays, shut that down. And again, we just consistently moved the ball all night long on them. Got down, scored. I think all of our seniors except one who got hurt, scored a touchdown. Hugo got to kick a field goal. So again, getting those seniors involved, I thought was a really big thing for us, and getting them, sending them off the right way was huge. And so again, I just thought the way that our team played was what I think we could have, was what we missed out on this entire season. We finally put a game together for 4 quarters, and that's what you got. That was the product we put out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great start. Will taking that long run to the house, and then Logan scoring in the corner of the end zone there, and just everybody really stepped up, which gave us the ability to do some things with our senior kids. So I mean, that was, I thought, just the way that the guys rallied around them to send them out on the right note, and that's a credit to our seniors. Like you said, when we're a 3-6 team, you would have thought we were 9-0 going at the end of the year with the way that those guys came to practice every day.
Yep.
The way that they prepared in film. You never heard anything negative from them. I mean, it was a great class. Sure, they may not be remembered for wins in playoffs and stuff like that, but like you said, they really set the tone for what the culture of this football team should be going forward.
Right. And we ended our talk at the very end, and we told those guys, building off what Trav just said, of these seniors will forever be remembered here with the regime that we have as a staff right now. Because I know as a head coach, I'm greatly appreciative of those guys, and have everything that they've done for this program, and for, again, just the vision that I tried to set forth going forward. I think that the way they bought in is just showing what we want Squirrel football to be here. So.
All right, we got some of our highlights here from the Wapton game. Why don't you guys break down what we're seeing here?
All right, this first one's Will. He's really fast. We did a great job on the edge here. Dixon and Dylan stepping up, stepping in, filling a spot for us. Thought they did a really great job blocking at the edge. Get a nice kick-out block from Junior Tote. And honestly, all Will has to do is just run really fast, outrun the defense, which he does. Gets into the end zone, really gets us off, rolling on a great start, probably the best start we had all season, especially offensively, to go up 7-0. Second play or second touchdown here that you're going to see, we got Logan one-on-one over in the corner. Felt like we could take advantage of it. Maj puts the ball in a perfect spot to where only Logan could catch it. Logan makes a great catch, gets us another 7 on the board. Just a really nicely thrown ball and a great route by Logan.
Defensively here, they're running a trips concept, and Jake's just playing center field here. Does a phenomenal job of not taking the bait, flying over the top or anything like that. Stays in his deep third there. Makes a great play on the ball. Comes down with it. Here, they're giving us a doubles look. We get great effort here from Cade McKinnon. Gets blocked, falls down to a knee, comes back up, gets a strip sack there. But really, this gets started with our pressure off the edge by Sam and Isaac. And then Cade just luckily gets to be the one to clean it up there.
We come back here, we got a quads package. They're trying to cover our quads with 2 guys. We felt like we could take advantage of that. Quarterback thought otherwise and said, you know what, I think Logan's got a better matchup over here on his guy. Goes to Logan for another score. Great catch by Logan, or way to get up there and fight for the ball. Maggio put it up there, 50-50 ball, great job.
Here on this play, we see Christian again. We're just running what we call mixed coverage. Christian basically has us number 2, basically man-to-man. Guy runs an out-breaking route. A lot better on this film here. Runs an out-breaking route again. Christian just stays over the top. Once that receiver makes his break, Christian runs right with him and undercuts that route and gets us that interception.
This play right here, Christian was begging for the whip call. He runs the whip about as well as anybody on our team. Runs a great route. The guy stays with him, which we didn't think would happen. Maggio put it where only Christian can catch it. He's got 2 guys covering him. He comes down with the ball. Just makes a great effort on this play. Like I said, great ball by our quarterback. Good protection up front. Really Maj had a lot of time all night to throw the ball, so good credit to the offensive line there too. Last one here is Junior getting in the end zone. They bring some pressure up the middle. We miss it. Junior makes a great play on his own, makes the guy miss, and then just gets upfield and honestly beats a guy to get into the end zone. This last play, this is Coach Butler's play. I'm going to let him kind of break this one down.
So we ran this play in high school. It's called guard special. All it is we're going to take the snap. Guard's going to turn here to his left, take the handoff, and then runs in and scores, gets the crowd excited. Guys are going crazy. We ran this play a couple times during the game. This is probably the worst that he actually ran the play, but is the most effective by scoring a touchdown, which, again, just got the place rocking. Our guys were excited for it. It was just a great effort by everybody around.
So let's talk a little bit about the future and what we got going next year and what some of your off-season plans are. You were a late hire this last year,
Yep.
So you didn't really get to have a full off-season of planning and stuff like that. Why don't you kind of tell us what you have in store for the guys, what's going to make it easier this year for you, and what you think will be the case for us next year.
So I think like you said, being a little bit late hire last year, it was just, it's one thing after another, and you were just right into the season or right into that, that summer session when you just got a bunch of stuff going on. And so now I think having that extra time I already have a staff in place, that makes things a lot easier. So now to me, it's just fine tuning everything that we did this year. It's making the small adjustments as we move forward. And so we can get over that hump and get back into the playoffs, and so I think that'll be a huge asset at least for myself. As far as the season coming up, I think our guys right now are I love what I'm seeing so far as in the fact of our guys are bought in. Again, it's easy right away, right after the season's over to be in the weight room and stuff like that, but this is the most guys I've ever seen in the weight room after school. They're all saying the types of things that you want to hear as a coach of, they're wanting to do the extra stuff. They're wanting to do the little things to be better. And again, I just think that goes back to our seniors setting the example of you can't, I think some of the reasons why we weren't as good as we could have been was, we had some guys that just didn't put in as much time as they needed to. And, our seniors talked about that if we want to expect to be really good and make a push, you have to do these little things. We have to go, we have to get more guys going to camp. We have to do the, some of the 7-on-7 stuff, just so once we get to, fall camp in 2-a-days, we're clicking. We're not trying to install a bunch of stuff right away, but we've already installed that. Our guys know it. Now we're, again, going back to the fine tuning. We're fine tuning everything and getting everything ready to go for that first game.
That'll do it for this week's episode of the Squirrel's Den Coaches Show. I'd like to thank Coach Butler for spending all this time with us, filming these shows, breaking everything down. We had a lot of fun doing this. Tune in next week as Coach Lamar and I give you the winter sports preview. We look ahead to the basketball teams, a little bit of wrestling, maybe look to see where the volleyball team is at also. So, for Brent Nelson, Travis Lamar, head coach Tommy Butler,